Hi guys. So I'd like to read on that military story that came out in the Atlantic. Trump saying Americans who died in war are losers and suckers. Of course, I'm sure all of you have read this. Everybody. I mean, this is like possibly the biggest story that has ever come out and made him look so bad. I mean, it is like pain in your heart to hear him say these things, even though we know, sure, he would say these things, but like it's so awful that military families would have to hear that. But I feel like, of course, I think we all feel like this like in my last read, Nancy sitting on this evidence or sitting on these things, and sort of part of that Operation Dump Trump. If you look at my July 25th reading I did on, I sort of felt like there was this operation with truth bombs, and I think that is sort of what's coming up right now a lot. And I think that like also based on Marie's dream, and it makes perfect sense that because of what happened a few days ago, the director of national intelligence cancels verbal election security briefings. That's what she got in her dream as the reason for elevating this thing, bringing out the big guns maybe. And this story felt like a big gun dropping. And so remarkable that in that story there were 4 sources. That just has to make Trump and company so uneasy. And I think that is a lot of the point. And it's been so verified over and over by others. Like everybody is turning on him. But it has to make others on the inside wonder, is everyone jumping ship? Am I next? And I hope there are others who are next. I hope Bill Barr is next. I hope... Oh, and it's so interesting also because this other story dropped that the Pentagon has ordered Stars and Stripes, which is a military newspaper, to shut down. And it's so interesting because it's referring to a heretofore unpublicized recent memo. And to have this story come out after yesterday, and this newspaper is known for not being, just loyal to whoever the president is. And I'm sure that's something that bothered Donald Trump. And actually today, Trump has now tweeted that this is not, the Stars and Stripes is going to stay, because of course he wants to try to do anything he can. So, but I find it really interesting because they must have been sitting on this story also, and the timing brings yesterday's story up again, and it's just sort of like this, and who leaked this memo? Maybe the military is at the heart of getting him out right now and working with Nancy. And I want to say I believe that Nancy is working with also Adam Schiff, who I did not mention in my read yesterday, but that Two of Cups, because I saw that they put out a joint statement on Saturday in reference to the intelligence canceling their election security briefings. So they put something out together, and I'm certain that they are working together. And so I guess what I want to do is let's look at the Atlantic story. This was Jeffrey Goldberg. Just to clear the energy here. Jeffrey Goldberg, the Atlantic article. Help us to see, is this all connected to something big? And actually, let's ask also, is more coming? Is this part of a bigger effort, a bigger operation to drop truth bombs? Is it coming from high levels of, say, military or government watching out for justice in this country? And what's coming next? Is there more? Like, I almost wonder, is there going to be evidence of this now that he's going to deny it for days and then a tape comes out? Someone recorded it. Oh man, is something like that going to happen? How great would that be? They're putting an end to him. I really believe that. Remember that 10 of Swords. It's go time. They're just getting started, I think. Maybe I'm getting too excited. Okay, so some interesting things here. So here's Page of Pentacles to start with for him. This is, yes, he was given this story. This was given to him, Page of Pentacles. Covered by the devil. It's to take him out, to take out Trump. I get there's a lot you can get from the devil card. What I get in this case is like basically like he's a monster. He's just, I mean, that's what you can tell from this story. We want to give you this story to expose this monster. He's an animal. At the surface, we have a 7 of Swords. It's so interesting to me. And look, we have a 7 of Rods underneath it. 7 and 7, that's sort of ambition and potential. So that's, yeah, and that gives me the feeling of, yeah, okay, so yeah, so the story wasn't just coincidental. There was purpose, ambition, and to the story for the potential of, yes, taking out the devil. And it's, yeah, it's interesting to me because this is a card of stealing, right? This card keeps coming up. And it's like, you know, we always would associate this with Trump and all the stealing that he has done. And that's, of course, there, but it's almost like we're taking it back. We're going to take this back now, you know? And it's like we can play our own, you know, we can have our own strategies. We can, and like swords also being information. We're going to take this information and be smart with it. It's like the moving of information strategically. Even though it's so hard, it's heartbreaking for so many, this truth is important because nothing else is working. 7 of Rods at the base. He is strong in his story. As much as they want to push him down for this story, he has the strength of many who are saying, oh no, this story is true. Yeah, verified by so many sources. So it's like, I feel like that 7 might even be specific to that. How many people are sticking up for this story, but either way, he is standing strong in his story. He has the strength. In the near past and the near future, Queen of Rods, there's Nancy. She is, you know, this little validation for us that yes, this is part of the bigger operation that she's involved in for exposing. So yeah, and like the Nancy dream, here she is, right? Marie's Nancy dream. And the heartbreak she felt in that, I think is the heartbreak that we're feeling now in having released this story. 9 of Rods is another card. Oh yeah, being on very strong ground. And this is what they want. So that's a good outcome. Strong, standing on strong ground. Knight of Pentacles and Justice. This is our guy. I think this is our Jeffrey Goldberg, the writer. Yeah. And he's doing it for justice. So there's that. And this Justice card was also in our read on Nancy as like above, you know, right here. So that's super cool. So that is sort of validating that also. Here he is doing his job. Interesting because Page of Pentacles, here we have this story for you. And then the Knight taking action, taking it out to the world for the sake of justice, bigger than just a payday, but justice. The High Priestess, I feel this touches on the emotion. Yeah, I feel that in my sort of solar plexus, the discomfort of having to hear those words. I'm sure, especially from military families, but all of us, because you just like, you know, you just have such respect. How can you have anything but respect for those who go out to just such uncomfortable places and try to, you know, for our country, to keep us safe, to keep others safe, to fight for sort of democracy and all these good things. So here is the emotion, the soul emotion that hurt, you know, and that would be the hopes and fears of having put this out. I'm sure our guy was, you know, gosh, this is gonna hurt. And so that's what we have here. Yeah, and just, you know, how will it affect people? This outcome, 5 of Cups. I've seen this in another one recently too. I think this was in my Michael Cohen read or one of those as, yeah, and because I laughed, oh yeah, this was his hopes and fears. I laughed because it looks like the back of Donald Trump's head and the loss, and there it is. So that is here in this read as well. And that's the point of it. Let's first go to this. So, okay, so more about, this is the long-term loss for Donald Trump. When I was wondering what's next, right? So we have this moon. This is sort of the hidden, something hidden from us. We are in the dark that, and what I get from this is, I do think this is going to be like a phone call with Trump, Putin. Now, like this would be, here is something for you that you don't want to take. This, I see it upside down, it's corrupt, right? with this, so Four of Cups, the Hierophant would be like our government. And then this, with this Seven of Cups though, this being an illusion delusion. This I see as like the fake news, this made up stories. So what I get is the demand being, get your government to repeat fake news. Get your Bill Barr or your Congress to be repeating these stories, right? These are the fake news stories. And this is something we don't know yet. It's covered by the moon. I assume that it is another story, hopefully that will be coming out. That's why it's here and being shown to us. So this underhanded, I need you to do something, the illusion delusion, confuse your country, use your government to do it. And then the Hanged Man with the Empress. Now this Empress concerns me a bit, and this is something I really want to read on. There's a reading I did August 19th, Senate Intel Volume 5, Final Outcome. And I saw this, oh yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff, my concern being about oil. I felt like I saw a lot of that coming up, and I'm like, I want to read on what's going, and then they recently opened up Alaska, and somebody commented on that, sorry if I can't remember your name right now, but saying, we read on Alaska because there's a lot of weird stuff going on there, and then I've heard that coming up in other reads. So I want to read on Alaska, because this, I thought this would be basically holding out to get more of our actual country, our territory. I felt like I saw that come up in the read yesterday with Nancy, that it's like they are trying to take our, like maybe even American territory, which of course points to Alaska. They've always wanted Alaska. So I think these might be the more of the stories coming out about our government, about the demand, the order to get our government to repeat fake news, and also holding out for American land. Trump loses, and also we have a 5. Oh yeah, 5. I mean, come on, this is okay. So what I see here with his loss, I feel John McCain is here with us in this King of Cups in relation to this story, and yeah, I just felt like a little spin in me. Oh wow, wouldn't that be an honor if we have a little John McCain spirit with us? I'm getting all super, super hot. My goodness. I feel like I'm having like a hot flash. So, yeah, okay. I'm all distracted now. John McCain and this 5 of Pentacles also being lost. Look at that, 2 5s. These are losses. And I think that this is all going to relate with the Temperance here, is telling us that people are putting things together. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, when you say, well, I don't believe this story, it's like, look what he said about John McCain, right? I feel like John McCain, like spiritually, is like part of this stuff, part of this whole thing coming out, maybe this whole operation, because it is sort of about the military, isn't it? And I also got this with like COVID, the loss of people losing their lives and people losing money, the economy and that sort of thing. Maybe the economy's, well, I don't want to upset anybody, but basically he's losing because people are putting things together. And that's what this Temperance a lot of times is, sort of mixing of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So that's what's going to be the advantage. And maybe that's also the goal of all of this. After I put these down, this was at the bottom, and I just went to look to see if there was a little story at the bottom. Okay, this gets weird. I feel that this is the soldiers, this Knight of Rods, soldiers, and this being the Putin bounty, right? Which makes sense. This would be another story that falls into all of this. And this being just Trump's absolute immaturity. He's like and I don't mean this to put down divas, right? But there's sort of something diva about him. He's just like sort of puts on his makeup and puts on his sort of like presidential suit. He thinks it's a game. He thinks being a president is a game. He's completely immature and completely like almost like it's a game, playful, a game. And this 9 of Pentacles, which brings me back to something else in the article. Why would you be a soldier, or who makes money? You don't make money. That's why he thinks they're suckers, because it's not, you don't make a fortune. And this, so here is the silliness and the fortune of Donald Trump. Just the silliness. And then right down at the base, I was wondering, how would I recognize if I get military in this read? And it's like, there it is, military. So yeah, so I think that they're definitely part of this and involved in this. But I thought that was pretty cool. It definitely feels very validated. This was a story given. We've got Nancy. We're standing strong. We've got strong people coming up and saying, it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true. Taking down the devil. You know, people feeling emotional. And you know what else I thought about today? You can be a person, a Trumper, and you can say, I don't believe it. But this is the feeling in your soul where you know it's true. That's what has to grow inside of people. You have to stop listening to the, Fox News and all that, and you have to feel it in your soul. You know it's true. And this guy is out there working for justice, and there's, other journalists. He's going down. We've got John McCain here standing strong with the ending of Donald Trump, and people are putting it all together, that temperance, and more to come on Putin. The bounties. This makes me think also, ultimately, we're going to know of more losses, maybe more loss of life involving the military stuff, because that is what this reading is on, and this is more long-term. Oh, and I just got a chill on that on the side of my head. So I think that, yeah, he's just really not taking care of the military the way he showboats himself to be. So very good. Okay, thanks for watching my read with me. That was it's fun to have you. Let me know your thoughts, any intuitions you're having, and like and subscribe if you would. And thanks for being here. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.